Hey folks, Charles again here at Shop Style Design, and welcome back to another training video. And in this training video, we're going to be talking about shipping within your Shopify settings. So once we get logged into our admin, what we're going to go do is down at the bottom left, we're going to go back to the settings section of your admin, and then we're going to look and find the shipping section here, and we're going to give that a click. Okay, so once this gets loaded up here, we're going to see a few sections that will run through for shipping specifically. Now, Shopify has recently pushed a new update, as you can see, where they're starting to become a little bit more intuitive when it comes to really kind of getting down to the nitty-gritty of being a little bit more flexible in setting your shipping rates and settings specific to products and things along those lines. So the first section here, the rates at checkout. So by default, there will be a general profile, which essentially means that this profile is going to be set as everything that's going to apply to within your store. So all products would fall under this category. Now if we take a look at it, we can manage the rates. And as you can see, it's showing all the products that we currently have added in our store that would fall under this. And it's saying that shipping from this address and where it's shipping to, and you can create your shipping zone. So if you wanted to create a manual rate, let's say that's free shipping, we could create it from here. So right now by default it will pull rates directly from the post office, so in this case Canada Post. And how it works is there are shipping discounts as it is stated here. It won't give you a specific discount, but it's all based on an algorithm that Shopify has designed for its merchants. And then as you can see, it also ships to the rest of the world. Now say we wanted to create a, like I said, free shipping rate. So what we could do is we'll offer free shipping in Canada. So we'll click on add rate, and in this case we're going to say we want to set up our own rates here, and we're going to say free shipping, and we're going to add free shipping as what it's going to be called, and then we're going to leave it at $0, and it should just fill it in as free, and we'll just hit done, and now we can see that this has been added. Now, since we have saved, but I opened it back up here because I did want to mention that we can add conditions as well. So we can say if the item weight is X amount, between X amount, then this can apply. Or we can say if the order price is X amount to X amount, this would apply. So the system will make sure that it checks for these credentials, and if it does fall under these credentials, then the shipping rate would be selectable for that customer. However, if it does not, then it just won't show, and the customer won't be able to select it, which is a really, really cool feature. But for right now, we're just going to say, in general, they're going to have the ability to select free shipping. It's not going to cost them anything within Canada. So for right now, we'll save that, and we're going to go back to the main shipping area. Now let's say you wanted to create a new profile, or we're going to say, for instance, we want to call this fragile product, so we'll use what they used as the anchor here. And which is really cool is, say we wanted to select specific products, so we can say maybe all the shoe products here we want to include. And then again, we can create a shipping zone. So we're going to say these shoes we're going to do Canada only. Oh, sorry, it's zone name. So we'll just say, yeah, Canadian residents. And then we'll look for the country. And done. And now we've selected a shipping zone, but we still want to make sure we select the actual rates. So in this case, for training purposes, we're going to say we want to use the carrier calculated shipping. And we're going to say, yeah, we want to pull the Canada Post rates, discount rates from Shopify shipping. And we're going to say we can select automatically show new shipping service to customers. And we can, this is also really cool too, is we can add a percentage for handling fees. So say we wanted to add a 10% shipping and handling fees. So that way the system will automatically add an additional 10% to the shipping rate. That way we can make a little bit more money, which is really cool. Oh, sorry, we have to select these three. So we'll say we want to select all three just to see what's so they have that ability to select either. And then so that's been all set up. And we haven't done anything other than Canada, but we want to leave that, so we don't have to worry about that section particularly. Then we're just going to save that. Now, as you can see, if we go back up, we have two shipping profiles. We have a general, which we're going to set as our default, and then we have another fragile products shipping profile that's only going to apply to specific products, and rates for Canada only. So that's that section there. So moving down, we have the packages section. Now this one is super important. What you want to keep in mind is saved packages are going to be you're going to really have to figure out the most accurate sizing of your boxes. So you want to take in the boxes as they are and make sure that the weight is going to be what the box weighs without product in it. So just the box itself. So in this particular sample here, the package, the system just called it sample box, and it's 30 by 20 by 15 centimeters, and then the weight is 0.188. Now it does say optional. I do suggest adding the weight in, that way you don't ever have to worry about, is the post office going to give you a hard time because maybe the weight's a little off. It can happen. So I always suggest adding in the most accurate weight as possible, and that way it just saves any headaches in the future. And then you can add multiple packages as well. But it's basically, you're going to set your default as what the average size box would be for most of your orders. And that's really the easiest way to explain it. And that's it for the packages section. So moving down to the shipping labels, this is going to allow you to see what carriers you're currently using. So in this case, we're using Canada Post. And we can actually buy and print shipping labels right from within your admin, which is a really awesome feature. Saves you tons of time for going down to the post office, waiting in line. We all know that there can be lines, not fun all the time. And then on top of that, you're going to get discounts. You're not really going to get discounts if you go to the post office yourself. So it's kind of all in one, which is super handy. And you have two different ways you could print them. So let's say most people would have a standard desktop printer. So you got your 8.5 by 11, so you can print it from that. And then what you could do is just adhere it to the box itself when you go to ship it. Or you can purchase a shipping label printer, which can print them directly onto labels that you can just put right onto the packages themselves. So it really depends on what you're using. Either or works really great. So totally your preference. And again, if you wanted to buy blank labels, printers, or a scale, you can always visit the Shopify hardware store by clicking this link within your domain, and that should take you to purchase printers and anything that would work with Shopify directly right from the Shopify hardware store. So that's super handy as well. Packing slips. You can certainly use packing slips when you're fulfilling orders. In this case, if we click the edit, you are going to see this really kind of comes down to coding and how it's going to look, so we can kind of preview what that would look like. Now, if you, generally, most people are not completely familiar or comfortable with coding. Not certainly something you have to do. If you have, if you are brave and very confident in coding, and you really want to include packing slip that's fully customized, you can absolutely do that. This is going to give you just a very standard layout of what it would look like. Most merchants would just use this. However, if you want to include, images and logos and just format it completely different, you have that flexibility to do that within the code. But going back, and we're going to go down to the last section. So accounts and integrations. So let's say you had additional carrier accounts. Let's say with UPS, FedEx, anything along those lines. You can integrate it directly within your Shopify store. Or let's say you had a customized fulfillment service with either something outside the system or you're using a Shopify app. This is the section that you would be able to see that. So if we click on Manage Integrations, that will take us into the two sections here where you can connect a carrier account that you already have. Again, FedEx, UPS, anything along those lines. This is where that connection would happen. And then same thing here, add fulfillment service. So let's say you had a warehouse, you can add in that here and integrate it so that way all your orders are sent to, let's say, your warehouse or whomever is fulfilling your orders for you. And that is it for the Shopify shipping.